Hey, Christy Mattoon here with Rewire. Thank you for being here. First of all, subscribe to my channel if you haven't for YouTube. And if you go over to my Instagram, I'd greatly appreciate, if you're on Instagram anyway, if you can follow me there. I've taken quite a bit of time off to handle some things that were happening around me with my dad and an illness. It's been a road. If you've watched some of my past videos, you've probably heard about some of it. He's doing well now, and I thank you all for your prayers and everybody who was involved in helping lift me up and just keep me going through that period of time. So I greatly appreciate that. What I wanted to get on and talk about today for just a minute is something I actually had a dream about last night. I had a really great awareness of this, and so I wanted to share it with you for those of you who haven't had this awareness yet. And it's about the great illusion, right? We're told that this is all an illusion, and it's talked about like the things that that are around us that we see are actually an illusion. It's part of a matrix, a system that's made up of energy. And while that's true, that illusion is part of our reality. That illusion is part of what we do see around us. You do create what happens in your life by your thought, but you have your thoughts and your feelings because of how you were brought up, because of what you've been taught, because of what you believe about what other people say. This has become very, very, and in this period of time with the coronavirus, it's become very, I don't even know the right word for it, easy to see, right? In the media especially. Some of the channels are telling you one thing, some of the channels are telling you something else, some of the way things are talked about appear one way, and then you hear or see it something totally different. We saw this morning on Facebook. My husband was scrolling through his Facebook, and somebody had posted a picture of the beaches, I think in California, crowded with people because they opened up some of the availability to go to these beaches. And then somebody else who lives there posted, no, that's not true. That's an old picture that they pulled from somewhere else. Here's what the beach in front of me right now actually looks like, right? And even in Florida, people started posting pictures of the beaches and how empty they really still are, that they're not packed with people, right? And so who do you believe? It's crazy. Who do you believe? Part of the illusion that we live under is what we're told. It is what we are shown on TV. It's what we listen to on the radio. It's, you know, what the pop stars are saying. It's what the government's saying. It's what your local law enforcement is saying. It's what, you know, the people around you, even the churches, the people who have authority, right? It's what they're saying, and it's what you decide to believe or not believe based on what you think you know, based on what you were taught when you were younger. I think it's interesting that we're taught the illusion. We're talked to and taught the illusion in the tenses of you create your world around you by your thought, but the thought was taught to you. The thought was given to you, and you weren't truly taught about who you really are as a person. You were taught what they want you to be. You were taught what they want you to act like. You're taught what they want you to respond to, and how you respond. So this process of waking up, right? I call my client base conscious creators. You're either a conscious creator or you're a subconscious pawn. And you have to kind of look at it like that. Am I a conscious creator? Am I consciously creating my world and my life and my reality? Not based on what I was taught, not based on what I think I know, but based on how deep I can go into my own center, into my own spirit, and begin to remember who I really am. Begin to remember what this truly is all about, and what is the goal here? Is it the goal that they set up for you? And they meaning all of it, right? I mean, you can go through all the conspiracy theories and all of the understanding of how, like, even biblically, the Bible got to where it was or where it is. All of the different trains of thought that there are about all of this stuff. Do you just believe it and buy into it because somebody else said it and they told you that's the way it is? Or do you go deeper and try and talk to God yourself and figure it out? Do you go deeper and listen to both sides of the story? In the government, right? In politics, do you listen to both sides? Are you only listening to one side? Consciously creating means you have to have knowledge. It means you have to have an understanding. You have to have a deeper awareness. Otherwise, you are a subconscious pawn. You're responding to what's been programmed into your system. And there is programming on either side of it. So you have to become super aware of not only how this works, but how you work, your internal technology that you actually have access to. That's what I've been taking time since all of this started happening, diving deeper into, is how do you access this internal technology? Talking to Creator, talking to my own spirit, trying to pull my own spirit more forward so I engage with that on a deeper level, instead of what I was taught, what I was told. My brother gave me a super huge awareness of this when he passed away a couple years ago. And I've talked about this before. When he died, when he actually committed suicide. And when that happened, the next day I was standing in his room and he came back in. There's a long story behind it, but basically what he told me was, don't believe anything you think you know. If it's stored in here, he's telling me don't believe it. And I was like, wow, really? And it went on, but what I have figured out from that original conversation was everything I think I know was programmed into me by people before me who thought they knew, whatever they thought they knew. Were they in alignment with their spirit? Were they in alignment with spirit? Were they in alignment with and in coherence when they were teaching that stuff to me? No, definitely weren't. And the people before them weren't either. And the government that they were listening to gave them different information than the government's giving us now, right? This is eons and eons and eons of this stuff. It goes back and back and back. And when you decide to get coherent, what you're going to find out is that in that coherence, you're going to get a different message. You're going to hear a different word. You're going to gain a different understanding. Even on the level of like my latest longing and my latest desire is to find compassion. The true compassion, even unconditional love. What I understand right now is it's not what you think it is. It doesn't come from where you may think it comes from. If you were taught unconditional love by rote understanding of the way this system works around us, we got it wrong. You have to go into spirit to find a true unconditional love. And the words that we use for love are not the words that were originally used for love. The feeling that you get when you think about unconditional love from the standpoint of what you think you've learned is different than when it comes from your spirit. It totally changes when you are in connection and in coherence with spirit. Your own spirit, and creator spirit, creator energy. It's that source energy that makes all of this. Does it make sense? So this is all a great illusion, right? From the level of what we create around us is an illusion because you can change it and alter it pretty much whenever you want. Even to the depths of what we're taught and told, the illusion that was created for us. That's the greatest illusion. It's like a huge movie set, literally, and they're inputting into our systems what they want us to know, what they want us to see. And it's the craziest thing when you start to realize that. I work on myself at night when I'm falling asleep. I'll do some work and just let spirit come, and I don't know, I sit there doing all kinds of things. But one of the things I was doing the other night was laying there and just feeling this compassion, feeling, being in it, the compassion of Christ, right? That's the direction I went with it. And as I'm feeling that, all of a sudden I started seeing, literally like on a TV set, and it was just everything, and it was rapid fire. I don't even know what I was looking at. I just was very aware it was TV, it was movie, it was production, things that were produced that I was institutionalized by, yeah? And it was rapid fire, going backwards through my whole life. And it was literally like, we're taking this out of your system. That's what I felt. That's what the message I heard was. And I was just like, oh, wow. And I just sat there, I laid there and let it happen. Got super clear, got some super clarity. And I don't know, it's been interesting since then. The clarity has remained, the depth of compassion grew because that stuff isn't in my system anymore. Deprogrammed by spirit, because I was engaged with spirit. I came into coherence and alignment. Please pass this on. If it helps you, it's going to help somebody else. Share, like, subscribe. And let me know what you're thinking. My name is Christy Mattoon. If you want a free session with me right now, you can go to my website, click on the top corner. I think it's the top right-hand corner, for a breakthrough session. Once you go there, there's going to be an option for a 15-minute or a 30-minute. If you're actually wanting to know how I can work with you on a private level, do the 15. If you just want a free 30-minute session, just to answer some questions, maybe you've got some thoughts, maybe there's something else you want to know, grab that 30-minute session and jump in with me. And let's see if we can clear some stuff up, answer some questions for you. I've had quite a few people this last week that they've been fighting the same things. One lady literally fighting what she was calling demons for probably 14 years. She's like, nobody can figure this out. And instead of trying to figure it out, I just asked Creator, let's go straight to the source. How do we handle this? That's what I asked. How do we handle it? And then I did with her what I was told, did with her what I heard. And she was just like, whoa. And I was like, it's a practice though, right? You got to keep this stuff up. It's not something that you're just going to like run through and then expect everything in your life is going to change. It's a practice. It's a way of being. Compassion isn't something you do. It's something you are, right? Grace isn't something you necessarily receive. It's a part of you because of your spirit, because of who you are. All right, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, that's part of the reality of who you are, not part of the great illusion. Might not be part of anything you've ever heard before, right? Because it's not part of the illusion that we're taught to live in. Anyway, I bless you. Thank you for being here. And check out my channel on YouTube. Check out my channel on Instagram. And I hope to be seeing you again soon. Thanks.